video messages and voice messages work really well on LinkedIn because they are so powerful, and especially for follow-ups, because it's so much easier to be like, hey, Lindsay, what'd you think of the video I sent yesterday?
Follow-up doesn't just mean that you come back to somebody at some point. All right, everyone, you want to know how to follow up like a boss? You need to listen in, because one of the things we've been talking about quite a bit in the previous episodes is outreach and how to get people to want to speak to you. But one of the issues, besides either sounding like everybody else, doing the mistakes that we talked about in the mistakes episode, not having social selling, is also not following up enough or very well. Let's just talk a little bit about like what it really takes, like how much follow-up it really takes to get someone to finally maybe want to have a conversation with you.
A lot.
The stat is
a lot more.
It's
than
a
one.
lot.
It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. Okay, so every year I feel like this number keeps increasing. It's like at first it was like, oh, it takes 6 touch points for a prospect to actually respond. And then
yeah,
like,
I remember when it was 8.
Then it was like, oh, it's
but that
10.
was like,
or it was 8. Now it's 12.
Sometimes 14.
Now it's literally 12. Sometimes 14.
If you're like longer sales cycles and stuff. Yeah.
When I'm training salespeople on social selling and LinkedIn, the majority of them quit before they even have a chance, because they'll send a connection request. Maybe they'll send a great to connect here, Lindsay. And then they'll stop. And they're like, well, Lindsay didn't respond. I don't know what to do now. Quitters. So we can't do that. We have to follow up. I have a funny story where I was a complete like stalker to this guy that's actually a Next Wave member, Lindsay. I don't know if you know this.
I'm like, oh, who is it?
I'll tell you later who it is. Dang it. I'll tell you later who it is. He's on shows up to all the calls, everything. And I will tell you guys the story. He worked at another company, and he was a sales leader at a company, and I was prospecting to him. And I had this whole prospecting outreach for multiple companies, and what I would do is I would look at their SDRs profiles. Of course, they weren't optimized on LinkedIn, their LinkedIn profiles, and I would reach out and I would say like, hey, send a message. Great to connect. By the way, I noticed that your SDRs, a couple of your SDRs, name 1 and name 2, don't have optimized profiles on LinkedIn. They're missing out on opportunity because your prospects are here. Like, are you guys using LinkedIn much? And he didn't respond. Followed up, finally responded. Yeah, we're not using it like we should be though. And I was like, do you want me to make you a video showing you like what I would improve on their profiles, and you can just pass it along to them? No response. Hey, first name. I'm happy to send over that video. No response. Hey, first name. I'm just going to send you the video. I send the video. Finally. Well, wait. Back up. Didn't respond. Didn't respond. It's been a week. Hey, first name. What'd you think of the video I sent over? By the way, this is a pro tip to people. We have not talked about this yet, but video messages and voice messages work really well on LinkedIn. We could have an entire podcast episode just on that.
Maybe we'll add that.
Maybe this is something we should do, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Because they are so powerful, and especially for follow-ups, because it's so much easier to be like, hey, Lindsay, what'd you think of the video I sent yesterday? Versus like, hey, Lindsay, what'd you think of my question I asked? It's like way more awkward. So I literally just kept saying like, hey, first name, like, what'd you think of the video? And then finally, like, he would respond, and then I would, mention again, like, we'd go back. Then he didn't answer again. Hey, what do you think? It literally, I think I messaged him like 15 times. I'm not even kidding. Oh, this was over the span of months. Like, I don't know, 5 months maybe. Like, this isn't like a month, you guys. Okay, so don't do this
touches
in,
in 2 weeks. Like, that's not good.
No. It's too much. And you also have to have a reason. And we'll get into this more in a second. I'm just giving you this specific scenario because for me, it was easy because I sent him a video that was personalized, like showing this is the SDR's profiles. This is why they're not working. Here's what they could do to increase their chances of prospects responding. Just send them this video. Give them my checklist. By the way, here's the link to the checklist. Have them go do it. And because I sent something of value, I wasn't annoying because I was like, hey, did you send your SDRs that video yet? Like, what did they think? Was it helpful? So it wasn't taking me a lot of time to follow up with this guy. And he was like, I really appreciate your persistence. Like, let's hop on a call. Oh, it was a happy holidays one. And I was like, happy holidays, first name. Like, what do you know, something about the new year. And it finally worked. And I was like, thank the Lord, sweet Jesus. I finally got a response. Hallelujah. So I literally put the screenshots and I give people, my clients, like I show them like, this is exactly what I said to this person. This is what I did. This is just living proof that you have to follow up. And guess what? This guy quit his job and now he is a member of the Next Wave. Yeah. Lindsay and I's membership, our AI forward, go-to-market, personal branding, LinkedIn, all the things membership. And he's an amazing,
that's really
all the things membership. And so it's literally because I hounded him, but in a way that wasn't annoying. And you guys can't do this with every prospect though. Like these are like your tier 1 accounts. Like he worked at a pretty large company. I don't do this to everyone. So I tell, when I'm training sellers, I'm like, you have to prioritize your accounts. You have your tier 1 accounts, your tier 2, your tier 3. Those tier 1 accounts you need to get serious about. You have to be sending creative follow-ups. Send the videos, send the voice notes, send the personalized follow-ups if you want to get a response.
That's a huge thing. We'll talk about that. We're going to go deeper into these things in season 3, but we're baby stepping you. But the point of that too is you have to know who's worth that sort of follow-up. I always I get that question asked a lot when I'm coaching founders. So I coach, founders who are typically doing founder-led sales motions. So they don't come from a sales background. They are engineers or they're product people, right? And so they mostly want support on like go-to-market and sales. And I'll get questions like, how many times should I follow up with this person? Or how many days should I wait before I send another email? Strangely enough, that's the kind of stuff I get asked quite a bit. There's no just like one size fits all answer to those sorts of questions, right?
Correct.
But there isn't. You just have to use, your judgment and things of that nature. But there is still somewhat of a system that you can create for yourself. And you have to if you're going to effectively follow up. Follow up doesn't just mean that you come back to somebody at some point, right? Effective follow up still has to be within a certain time frame. Ideally, always a reason to actually be following up, giving something of value or a genuine human touch point of some sort. This is why we do these jokes about just following up, circling back, bumping this to the top of your inbox, checking in. None of those work because there's zero value to it. All you're doing is just being like, hi, it's me again. Once in a blue moon that works because they needed the bump. Typically though, that's not the issue. So Mandy's story isn't just like, oh, that happened one time. No, that happens over and over again. And when people stop at step 2 and 3 of a follow-up, kind of sequence and system, they're going to miss out. They're going to miss out because you're not just following up when you do this. You're nurturing, you're branding, you're staying top of mind.
And you guys have to also understand that people are busy. A lot of them don't even see your first few messages because it's you can't take it personal and you can't think like, oh, they didn't like my message. Like you don't know that because people are super freaking busy. They're getting inundated with emails and calls and messages all of the time. And the episode before this, I mentioned like 121 emails a day that prospects are getting. So you can't take offense and think that like, oh, they don't like my message. I mean, you might have a terrible message and they might not like it, but the chances are really high that they didn't even see it yet. They didn't even see it. So that's also why follow-up is important.
And Mandy and I can admit this to you, being the receiver of lots of outreach all the time too. It's not that I didn't see it, but you're not a priority for me at the moment to take care of this. But I'm also not deleting your message, or I'm also not like, I haven't written you off necessarily, but you are not currently you're not in my important and urgent bucket. And I have a lot of that already. So you will continue to be in my important, not urgent bucket. If I care, if you weren't at all, you go into the not important, not urgent, and you go bye-bye. Right. So that's also why follow-up, which is really just another version of proper nurturing, is important so that when you are now an urgent problem for me, or I get some time back, Never happening. Now I would like to speak with you. So if Mandy hadn't continued to try to reconnect, add value, etc., with first name, then she would have unlikely ever gotten the opportunity again. And he would have not remembered her when his pain or problem was now actually an urgent one.
So when it comes to LinkedIn, I tell the sellers that I train to focus on at least 5 touch points on LinkedIn. And I tell people space them out at least 4 to 7 days apart. To Lindsay's point earlier, you have to use your discretion here based on what you said, who the person is, how often they're even on LinkedIn, because you guys have to also remember that if people aren't on LinkedIn every day, they might not even see your first message for a few days. And then if they log in and they have like 3 messages from you and they haven't even seen the first one, that's a really easy way to get unconnected or blocked or ignored. So use your discretion. And I like to do like 5 to 7 days, depending on what it is, maybe sometimes 4. Typically around a week follow up. And then when I say touch points, I'm talking about commenting too. Leaving a comment is a touch point on someone's post. You're engaging. That is a touch point. Sending a message is a touch point. And you don't have to be annoying and just say what Lindsay said earlier, like just circling back, like how are things going? There's a million different things you could do. For example, if that person's posting, you could literally just say, hey, Lindsay, I found your post today on ABC so helpful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's all you have to say. Don't say anything else. It's just being top of mind. Then you can start the dialogue. And people are like, well, what do I say? How do I get the questions going? I'm like, you can always ask a question. By the way, I noticed that you guys are doing XYZ. How are you handling ABC? ABC is your solution. Or I noticed you're doing this. By the way, if I can help you with this, let me know. One of my favorite scripts that I do in voice notes and videos is something like, you know, hey, Lindsay, love your posts on LinkedIn, especially the ones about ABC. By the way, I noticed that you guys are ABC. You're probably going to tell me that you already have this figured out. But if not, I'm happy to help. Let me know. We can hop on a quick call. Like, you can be more direct with people in a nonchalant way like that. You probably are going to tell me that you've already got this sorted out. But if you haven't, I'm happy to be a resource for you on XYZ. Let me know, etc. You can do that a lot easier on voice notes and videos than you can via text. Because it comes across tonality. More personal. Yes. And not salesy. But I also encourage you to use email. Hey, Lindsay, I just sent you a message, you know, on LinkedIn, whatever. You guys can also send, I don't like sending links like right away, but if someone has responded to you and maybe they just haven't followed back up, you know, in a few days, but at some point they responded to you, if something is relevant that you think would be helpful, specific for them, you can send it, whether it's a blog post or something, but don't do that on the first try, or if someone has ghosted you. Because it's kind of off-putting.
You can ask permission
to do that,
to send something, you know?
Yes, ask
so
permission.
When you're early in the journey of following up, you know, I think it's great. You kind of, with your going back to your story in the beginning of the episode, you were like, hey, I can make a video for those 2 people and what I would recommend. Like, do you want me to do that? Because otherwise, what tends to happen now too is people will just try to send a link or a video or something without really getting someone to say, yes, I'd like you to do that. And it feels pitchy and salesy. And like, if I look at this thing, you're going to try to sell me something.
Yeah. It's a turn off instantly. And so asking for permission is ideal. And then Lindsay, let's talk about like humor and using humor in follow-ups, because it's fun. Yes, it's fun. So one of the things that I do sometimes, if like I'll send a video, and I'm a big fan of sending video messages and voice notes, and I'll be like, dang, was my video that bad? And then I'll do like some sort of emoji or something. Some of my clients say the Homer Simpson emoji where he's going into the bushes like works really, really well. Yes. And so they'll just like do that and then get a response, and they'll make people laugh and be like, sorry, I've just been busy or whatever it is. Right. And then a lot of times when I will send a video message that's private to them and then they feel bad. Like, I do this with prospects that don't respond to like a proposal or something and I can't get a hold of them. If I send a video message, it guilts them. I'm not trying to guilt them. I'm just like, hey, Lindsay, I wanted to see where you guys were at with the proposal. I know we talked about ABC. If something has changed, let me know. I just wanted to check in and say hi. so many times being like, Mandy, thank you so much for the video. And I can't reach them anywhere. Emails aren't working. Like they didn't answer their phone, but I send a video and what do you know?
There's all kinds of ways to do follow-up, just like there's all kinds of ways to start outreach, right? And there's some that's more effective at different parts of where you're at in this journey. So if we're talking about follow-up when you haven't even gotten a response from someone yet, to begin with, then the types of messages we've talked about, whether it's like LinkedIn DMs, email outreach, things like that, is good. Coming more with just wanting to get to know you, start a conversation. There's no like, get on a meeting with me, like tell me a time. Like just don't go for asking strong commitments when you're just trying to get someone. The goal is like, just want to start a conversation. You just want to elicit a response, right? So do the sorts of follow-ups that would be appropriate for that. Do not text them if you've never gotten a response from them yet, necessarily, right? Then if you're actually like someone has responded to you and now they've stopped responding, then there's like a little more like personal ways that you can start doing things. And to your point, you can play into not that you're trying to make them feel guilty, but you're playing into the human like aspect. So when they see Mandy's like literal, like it's as if she were standing there talking to them, like, is everything okay? When they haven't, now they go, ooh, sorry. And she took time to send that personally. Text works really well for those. So a secret I always not a secret, but like a thing that I tell my reps a lot when I'm managing teams, when they are deep into a sales cycle with someone that has been responsive so far, everything was fine, and now they can't get a response, I'm like, text them. Because here's the thing about text messages. You see them. So like you as a human go, if I don't respond to this, I am clearly sending a signal that I am completely ignoring you and not responding to you on purpose, which is what we would, when you feel bad. Now that might be the signal I want to give you if I don't want to talk to you, or if we haven't ever spoken and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's not happening. But if we were in the stage of like a proposal or like we had a demo or something later in the sales cycle, it's not the same as a phone call that I could say, I'm so sorry, I couldn't answer that phone call. I was really busy. I can't call you back. I've been really busy. You don't feel bad as a human, but you feel bad with a text. So it's very important to also use different sorts of follow-up at different parts of the journey. One of the most creative outreaches I have ever gotten was, now this is quite extensive or creative and time consuming. He sang a song and played the guitar and lyrics, like all of it. He made to a well, I think it was to like a James Blunt song, like kind of a romantic-y, like a serenade-y one, like type song, but changed the lyrics to not be serenading me romantically, about trying to follow up on a demo that I had agreed to doing. And mind you, this guy wasn't like a great singer either. This is like something he's really good at, so he feels confident in doing it. Like, not a very good singer. And it was just like, I gotta respond. That took so much guts, effort, creativity. Like,
yeah,
that was a good one. So that's definitely one of the ones. And then anything funny. If you make me laugh, I will respond.
Yeah.
Use
humor. One of the guys I was training yesterday here in New York City, he said, it's the same Australian guy I talked about in the other episode. It's the Aussie that likes to send, ask for marriage on the first date. It's him. He sends Spotify playlists of certain songs that are relevant to what he's doing, and he makes like a joke out of it, and he sends like custom Spotify playlists to these prospects.
Yeah, I would love it.
People love it. So be creative. Yeah, you guys have to be creative. That's what Lindsay and I are trying to say. Like, think outside the box. Ask AI for help.
Lucky you.
Like,
you have AI
ideas
these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is our tactical takeaway for following up today?
So a really simple tactical takeaway for you all is, if you have a prospect on LinkedIn who you are connected to, so your first degree connections, and they have ghosted you and you have not heard from them, pick up your mobile phone, click the LinkedIn app, pull up your messages on your phone, go to the message thread of the prospect who ghosted you, click the little microphone icon on the right-hand side of the message thread, send a voice note under 60 seconds. send a voice note so they can hear your voice. Say, that's a whole other situation on what to say. It depends on the prospect. Make it personalized, obviously, and then you can literally just ask a question or offer to help. Keep it short. It doesn't really need to be longer than 30 seconds.
Yes.
And then just send a voice
Plus,
note
it'll cap you.
and see what happens. And then, yeah, it'll cap you at 60, but it's really glitchy. If you go all the way to 60, sometimes it freezes, and then you have to redo it, and then it's really frustrated, and you want to throw your phone across the room. Don't ask how I know. Yeah, I can't. Pro tip, after you send the voice note, type and say, hey, first name, just sent you a quick voice note, because some people don't even know that you can do this on LinkedIn. They don't even know you can send voice notes, and they don't know what it is, and they might be scared to click it. So tell them, like, put a little emoji. You can even send a selfie if you wanted with your fingers pointing up, whatever. Just tell them that you sent them a quick voice note so they know what it is. But a really easy thing for you guys to go and do literally right now.
And for those that are familiar with the voice noting on LinkedIn, at least for now, it doesn't notify the sender that you have or haven't listened to it. So you can listen to it still, right? Correct. And not worry about letting the person know. So it's also better than some of the other things that are out there. If you use like a Vidyard or a Loom or whatever and you send it to them, you'll know, like, it notifies you right? So this is also kind of a way to be like, I'm going to send you something. It's really tough. Our curiosity gets the better of us here as the prospect, right? To want to listen to something that was sent. And if they're familiar with them, they'll know I can listen to this safely without letting Lindsay know that I listened to it. So it's another reason why I really like voice notes for a follow-up.
And it's just literally, you don't have an excuse. You can't say like, oh, I don't want to get on camera, I'm shy, or I'm not having a good hair day. Like, no one even sees your face. Like, there's no excuse for you not to send a voice note. And not enough people
looking
are
like
doing
a potato
this
on the couch, and you could be doing that. So, yeah.
Potato.
All right, homies.
Potato. So anyway, that's your tactical takeaway.
Go do it right now.
Good luck. Okay, now go build something cool. And if you can't figure out what's holding back your revenue, grab our free Hidden Revenue Finder GPT at yourfuturebiz.com/revenue.
If you like what you hear, or at least didn't hate it, hit that follow or subscribe button so you don't miss an episode.
And just like that, another business problem got a little clearer. Because in the business world, it's not about who raises first.
It's about who lasts.